First Sunday of Advent, Cycle C. The community's Action in Solidarity and Association Jesus Solidarity invite you to listen to the Living Gospel for the first Sunday of Advent on December 1. Let us then meditate on the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 21, verses 25 to 28 and 34 to 36, with commentary from Fr Patxi Loidi in the voice of Rosa Ocampo. Proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and on earth nations will be in dismay, perplexed by the roaring of the sea and the waves. People will die of fright in anticipation of what is coming upon the world, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. But when these signs begin to happen, stand erect and raise your heads, because your redemption is at hand. Beware that your hearts do not become drowsy with carousing and drunkenness and the anxieties of daily life, or that they may catch you by surprise like a trap. For that day will assault everyone who lives on the face of the earth. Be vigilant at all times and pray that you have the strength to escape the tribulations that are imminent and to stand before the Son of Man." The Word of the Lord. Fr Patxi's commentary. Dear friends of the Living Gospel, today is the first Sunday of Advent, a time to prepare for Christmas. The Gospel that begins the liturgical season is about the end of the world. It is the same idea that appears in Matthew and Mark. But Luke was aware that the church was in a new situation. He wrote his Gospel after the destruction of Jerusalem between the years 80 and 90. In those years, the belief that the end of the world was near has been diluted, and with it, the hope in the imminent return of the Lord. That motivation was no longer strong to invite conversion. That is why Luke inserted phrases which, besides not marking dates like Matthew and Mark, expressly said that the end is far away. Stay tuned so that you cannot be deceived, because many will come in my name saying, "I am. The time has come." Do not go after them. When you hear about wars and riots, do not be scared. They have to happen first, but the end will not come immediately. As in Luke chapter 21, verses 8 to 10. There are still many people who give credit to doomsayers of the fast approaching end of the world. Powerful nations can destroy the earth because they have nuclear weapons and they can do it 15 times. Will they do it? The planet can collapse because the big transnationals are destroying it. They put greed before human development. But it will not be God who will destroy the world. The Gospel does not use fear. It doesn't peddle the end of the world nor punishment from God. Our God is not a God of fear, but of freedom, trust, and love. Today's passage invites us to perseverance and fervor because Luke wrote for people who had lived pending the approaching end of the world. But his advice is perfectly valid for our time. Do not let your hearts go numb, trapped by vices and money. Be sensitive and be master of yourselves, with your heads up high, forged by faith and rationality. Jesus appears glorious as Master in the midst of the greatest catastrophes, and he frees us from all bondage and fear. So raise your head like free people. Keep the spiritual youth even as the years go by. Keep the soul alive and awake for good. That way, you can stand before Jesus Christ, the glorious Son of Man. Allow me a brief note before finishing. Catholic theology has always considered human reason together with revelation and faith. But it seems that in recent years, the force of reason is diminishing in the whole Church. Why this setback? Perhaps it is because of the predominance of numerous groups of charismatic cults influenced by the evangelical churches. One wonders if this has something to do with the opposite of the gospel of today, the announcement that the end of the world is near, which still persists in many minds, united as a package to other series of elements such as appeals to God for punishment, Marian devotion based on apparitions and not on the Bible, the growing desire for miracles contrary to the teaching of Jesus, etc. What is at play in this reduction of reason? The Creator God and humanism. Religion eats God the Creator. Let's stop here, although I admit that the subject deserves a longer comment. The teaching of Luke in today's passage is an eternal message, because the passage of time leads us insensibly to fall into routine and mediocrity. Christmas is a great occasion to renew the fervor if we position ourselves against the current and give a place to reason and humanism. Prayer. Have you seen the Lord? Have you seen the Lord? Oh, if you could see him right now. Where can I find him? When? How? My eyes have been wide open with infinite anxiety. He always comes, always, without waiting for the black day and its anguish, or for the end of my trip on earth. Isn't he our older brother? Hasn't his father told him to take care of us? He comes every day with a smile on his face and in the hands, in the heart. He stops at the door of my house and knocks gently with the knuckles. How many times he finds me distracted without being aware and without opening out to him. He wants to find me firm, with head held high and being myself. Isn't he our glorious liberator? Didn't he make me master, free and solitary in the midst of any catastrophe, able to stand in front of him? Here I do not expect to see him with glory and power, for he passes disguised as love and pain. He fights for poor people so that they may have life. There I always find him, in the middle of the indignity. And I know he will ask me about those people when the day of eternal embrace arrives.